Hi everyone, it's Dr. E. Welcome to our week 3 instructional video. Before I get into any kind of details about this upcoming week, I do want to let you know that some pretty bad weather has been forecast starting around Wednesday. So just be prepared. Take a look at all your classes and when things are due. Get things uploaded early if you're able. I think it's just become second nature for us to prepare for power outages and all kinds of issues that may arise. So do what you can to ease a bit of your stress when it comes to school during that time, so you're not frantically emailing professors or worried about what's going on there. If you can get a few things off of your plate ahead of time, then I would definitely suggest that. So just keep an eye on the weather, keep an eye on information. Hope you're getting those emergency text notifications from the Lone Star College system. If not, make sure that you are logging into your My Lone Star account and updating your contact preferences and all that, but everybody should kind of be defaulted into that system. All right, let's jump into what you need to do, where you need to go this week for our work. So in the week 3 module, everything is kind of laid out based on that schedule that you always have access to, right? So you're going to read chapter 5 in our course text. Everyone's an author, and it is titled Understanding College Expectations. It's like learning a new language. So that is kind of building on what we thought about and read last week from Irvin's article about what is academic writing. This is kind of some of those same ideas, but really also broadening in some areas, because this is how our editors, who are composition scholars, right? They do all of their work is really focused on writing and composition. I mean, Irvin is the same way. Irvin is considered a composition scholar as well, but it's good to get that input and insight from the book, from the editors and the writers from our actual course text, because it gives us a sense of, what they consider important, what they are going to expand on, in the rest of the text. So just be mindful of that. And then you're going to watch a TED Talk by Ron Finley. So this is going into, in a lot of weeks, what we'll do is read and think about writing specifically as an activity, something we do in college. What are those expectations and ideas? And then we'll connect it to food, right? So we have, out of any topic, food just seems very approachable. And so we're taking what we learn and think about with writing and applying it to a particular topic, one that we all have ideas about and experiences with. So, all right, that's just giving you an idea of the motivation here about having that particular topic and how we're working in the ideas of writing as well. All right, so this week you have 2 videos you want to watch. You're watching one of them, but there is also a food journal video. This just gives you some background into that food journal assignment. But know that the bulk of what you need to know for each food journal is in the prompt, right? So the prompt will have very specific information and requirements. So take the general knowledge from the instructional video and the guidelines and apply those to those prompts, right, that you'll receive. All right, you do have a discussion post that's due. That food journal is due on Sunday. You will be asked to respond to at least 2 colleagues, but remember, those plus marks mean it is optional, it is bonus credit. I would again suggest that you take advantage of that while it's available. And then you have, as always, your participation quiz on Sunday. All right, so you're watching what will appear as number 1 here, and then take some time to read through the food journal, or watch the food journal video, and then look at the guidelines for that assignment. I go over those in the instructional video, but here is, quick access to it when you need it. And of course, everything is also located right here. All right, so let's jump to our discussion for this week. It is going to be based on our reading, Understanding College Expectations. And so in 1 to 2 paragraphs, I'm not asking to really push too much, but to, in at least 1 or 2 paragraphs, really consider what we're reading, right? So do you agree that college writing is like a new language? Why not? What has your experience been with college writing so far? So is this your first class? Have you written short things in other courses? Especially if you're an online student, chances are you've had to write in some form or fashion, whether it's discussion posts, papers, quizzes, whatever the case may be. Even in math, there's, writing involved when it comes to turning in assignments and whatnot. I urge you, please remember your grade. I can only, award grades based on what I'm seeing on my screen when I go to grade. So it's about effectively communicating your ideas. So make sure that you're using tools to help revise, edit, use Grammarly, get the best possible grade for that writing. All right, so if we jump to our week 3 module again, I want to go over this week's food journal. If you click here, don't be overwhelmed by what you see. Just take your time to read through the instructions. What I want us to do is take this idea of revisions and put them into practice, because I feel as though sometimes this is a step that we may miss in college writing because we are, we have so much work to do. We're working the night before something is due. We may not have time to really give a lot of focus to our revision process. Let me pause for 1 second while I cough. But taking that time to revise and edit is just so helpful. What we're going to do is take our submission from the previous week, our first journal writing, and we're going to add to that and revise it. Sometimes all we really need to do is take a look at what we have written with fresh eyes, whether that is fresh from taking a break of an hour or taking a break of a day or even a week, to see what we might be able to adjust, revise, delete, or add to make sure that our ideas are communicated in as effective a way as possible. So in addition to revising what you've already submitted, you're going to be your own proofreader and critic in that way. You're going to add at least one paragraph that's going to bring Finley's TED Talk into the conversation in some way. So I've given you some leading questions, but you can definitely connect in whatever way you see fit. How might your comfort food relate to Finley's ideas about gardening, fresh food, creating community, generational influences on food? Anything that you take from his video that you can find a personal connection with when it comes to thinking back on your comfort food, right? Feel free to be as creative as possible or focus in on one of these ideas. With one paragraph, you just need one connecting idea, right? So to break it down, you'll need your 3 paragraphs from our previous prompt, right? And I've included the prompt here in case you have forgotten or if you weren't able to submit in time for last week's assignment. It is here for you so you can submit that here. And you're going to add one paragraph that brings in Finley's ideas and find a way to connect them, right? So think about your topic sentence from that paragraph and how it not only is identifying that you're bringing Finley or those ideas in, but also connecting it to your comfort food. So topic sentences are just really helpful in that way to make sure that you are organizing your ideas in a way that are, it's helpful for your readers, right? We want to be as kind as possible to our readers and make sure that they are following our ideas pretty easily. This is going to require that you give Finley credit for his ideas. You will not need a works cited for this particular assignment. That is also something that I go over in the instructional video for the food journals. If you want to include one, that's absolutely fine, but you don't have to, all right? All we need is to properly cite Finley with at least one quote, which means using in-text citations. And if you have questions or concerns about that, I have included below this prompt from last week, I've included information that will help with that. Please make sure you're following MLA formatting guidelines, so use the template, please, and make sure you're uploading in the proper format, pages, documents. I can't grade what I can't open, right? So make sure that if you're using a Mac, you are properly exporting or changing the format. All right, so I've included last week's journal prompt that also has links to the MLA template, but you should be able to, in the assignment area, hopefully you saved your work somewhere from last week so you can easily access that whenever needed. But you can go to the assignments area, and in the space where there's that food journal, you should have a document that you can click on like this here. But again, please always make sure that you're saving your work and naming those documents well so that you can find them easily wherever it is that you're saving them. All right, so back to that assignment. I'm going to scroll down, and this is where I give you an example of how to cite Finley as a source, especially because videos can be a little bit much. So MLA wants you to use what's called a timestamp. So it's indicating the time that Finley says something. If we want to get really technical, the timestamp is supposed to cover all this. So this is the hour, the seconds. You're supposed to say from 1 minute 50 seconds to 1 minute 53 seconds, or however long it takes. But I'm fine with just that starting timestamp. There are going to be professors you run into that are very much sticklers for MLA, APA, whatever it is. So please just make sure in other classes that you're getting a sense and asking questions for what they want specifically, because they may be a lot stricter than I am. All right, and I also let you know that there is, to find out the specifics of where things are, there's the option to read the transcript in the TED Talks link. So if we go back to, nope, I want to go back to our assignment area or our module. So for our week 3 video, if you click on the link to take us to the TED Talks website, here is Finley. There's this option to read the transcript. And so when you click on this, it will open the transcript over here, and so you'll get a sense of where it is that he says a particular thing. And you can also copy and paste for very accurate quotes. Just make sure you're using quotation marks and doing all those things you need to do to properly follow MLA formatting guidelines. If you have questions about that, make sure that you are visiting the MLA Help module, and that has links to the Purdue OWL website, which has lots of information, examples of how to quote, all those good details. You can also find information about MLA in our course text, but I do find that the Purdue Online Writing Lab website is just the best. I mean, it gives you all the information that you could possibly need. So if you click on MLA guide, it expands in all of this. So don't be overwhelmed. Just click around to find, anything that you need. So you can find, electronic sources. If you scroll down, excuse me, how to cite an entire website, all of that good stuff, an ebook, an article on a web. I mean, just take your time. MLA is a lot, but this is also why you don't have to be an MLA expert and know any of this by heart. You just need to know where to go to find that information. YouTube video that's very timely, that kind of thing. All right, so let me go back. That's pretty much our week in a nutshell when it comes to what it is we need to accomplish and how to go about doing that. So please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Remember to keep an eye on the forecast to get any work for any of your classes done beforehand if need be, just to make sure that you're not stressing too much. So take care of yourself, take care of anybody else who needs your assistance, and good luck this week.